I am so excited. I didn't even realize my video was on. That's how excited I am. I'm telepathically turning on the video. All right, I'm going to actually move this up here. I wasn't even ready, but I had my phone on, so there it is. All right, so in case you did not know, it is Founders Day for AA. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear AA. Happy birthday to you. I figured I would grab the Starman Tarot because we have Mr. Bowie was apparently a fellow, and I figured this would be a really good tarot deck to use for today. I also have my Herbal Astrology Oracle, and I have the Citadel Oracle deck. So we can just chit chat while I'm getting everything all set up and ready. How you doing? If you've never been here before, my name is Trinity. Hello, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I love you so much. I really appreciate you. All right, so, and of course, you know what? I know it's going to be a good channel when my nose starts to run, and of course I don't have a tissue here, so yay. That's kind of gross, but this is life, huh? All right. So let's go ahead and get some candles lit, some sage a-roaring. There we go. On et deux. Don't know why I'm speaking French. You may be French yourself. You may be from New Orleans watching this. I don't know. I actually do have someone who watches me regularly from New Orleans, and she is a lovely human being. So much so that she's my sponsor. All right, so hold on just a second. This breeze is blowing everything out, so we're gonna try. You know what? That is amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my both of the wicks went out and they just relit on their own. You saw me with the lighter over here and my candles were out and they just relit. And I'll give you proof positive that they did. I don't know if you can see this. Okay. Get this energy cleared. Oh, all right. So, in honor of it being Founders Day for AA, I am going to do a 12-step tarot reading. So, let me go ahead and pull the Citadel Oracle, and I think, you know what? I think what we're going to do is a quick Apparitions Anonymous meeting. Hi. I talk to dead people. So, little story behind what I affectionately call Apparitions Anonymous. When I had moved, I was about a year sober. I had moved from one city to another, and I don't deal with change very well. And so I was refusing to go to meetings, and my guides came to me and they said, grab your tarot decks and meet us in the living room. And I was like, okay. So I went and I met them in the living room. And I asked what we were doing, and they said, look, if you're not going to go and listen to the experience, strength, and hope of other people who are in the program and have survived, you're going to talk to people who perished from the disease. So that's how that started. And let me tell you something, talking with people who have perished from this disease, who are on the other side and watching what their death does to their loved ones is a sobering thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and see who is coming through with our Citadel deck. Spirit, who is coming through here for this Apparitions Anonymous meeting on Founders Day 2026? Oh, the Diviner. Interesting. I want to pull one more card. Please give me the Weaver. Okay. So, if you have not read Pass It On yet, you should. There's a little blurb in there. I can't remember what page, but Bill Wilson himself actually was able to channel the dead and hosted tarot and oracle parties and stuff at Stepping Stones. I'm such a shit about that, you know, but it actually helped me. Understanding that and knowing that actually helped me in my recovery, because the more sober I got, the more I worked my steps, the stronger my abilities came. And this was before I, you know, was very versed in the rooms and knew people. And as I've grown in my program and expanded my community, I've found more and more people like me out there. So if you are debating and have a desire to stop drinking, let that be, got a couple of them. Let that be encouragement. If this is something that you want to do, just know that working the 12 steps will actually help increase these abilities. They do say that there's a psychic change, your intuition gets better, and you have conscious contact with your higher power as you understand it. This is one form that can manifest. So definitely it is a perk to working your program. And I will say that the more clean and sober and the more time I have under my belt, the stronger all of this comes. So anyway, I am not sure if this is actually Bill coming through. We will find out in a second. And then the Weaver. So we're going to go ahead and get some clarification. It may be another individual, because usually when he comes out, there's a card in here called the Founder, and that's kind of why I picked that. I was kind of hoping that he would come up, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and see with our herbal astrology deck what this says. Okay, the Tulsi, which is wealth. Rosemary, ancient memory. And skull cap, stillness. Okay. All right. So the individual who's coming through on these cards, apparently they want to be kept very anonymous. And so I have a feeling, because usually when Bill comes through, he's like, how's it going? And if you want to talk to him, you can call him too. It's fun. He's a fun guy. But anyway, this person actually was someone who really struggled with the concept of Christianity, and the mainstream religions. And they were, someone who actually did dabble in the metaphysical. So that's very interesting. That resonates with me hard. They used their magic to manifest wealth. They were pulling from ancestral energy. It was something that was passed down in their lineage. So like they may have had a mother or a grandmother who practiced witchcraft or was a shaman, or, you know, whatever you want to call an energy worker who works with bending the matrix. Okay. And so those were things that they already innately did. And what this person found was that dipping back into their ancestral heritage really helped them, as far as getting back into conscious contact with a higher power as they understood it. This is something that, was very healing for them. And it actually does look like this is someone who got sober and died sober. So this is not someone who died of their disease. And you know what? Hey, just before I go on with this particular person, if you are kind of curious and interested to to hear from someone who has passed on, let me know, and I'll keep doing readings like this on the regular, because I think that this is really something that, you know, is an important aspect of it, to see the actual outcome that can happen to a person if they choose not to turn their will and their life over to a power greater than themselves. Okay? All right, on the split, I've got the Empress and I've got the Princess of Cups, which would be the Page of Cups. All right. They delved into their creativity as a form of, or an expression of self-love. And that's really, I'm hearing performative arts. So it could have been music, it could have been acting, but just that creative self-expression was really what helped them get through early recovery and then continue to build that self-confidence that's genuine. Because I hate to tell you this, we talk about selfishness and self-centeredness, and yes, we are selfish and self-centered, but that is derived from being absolutely scared crapless at life. We're scared of everything. Fear is literally our higher power. Before we get into recovery and we learn to let that fear go, and without that fear, we don't need to dip into negative coping mechanisms, maladaptive at that. So, all right. All right, I've got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so it looks like she actually... I'm not getting a she. I've been saying she this whole time, but it was a very Okay. Okay. This was a very, very feminine man. And it's not that he was like... How do I say this? He did not worry about what people thought about him. He embraced color, is what I'm hearing. Let me just channel this. He embraced color. He embraced his feminine side. He was open to receiving all of the goodness of the world around him. He really, I'm hearing he loved to dance. He loved to dance and make music and act. Okay, some performative arts, definitely. I think I know who this is, because I've talked with them before. They've never had, we've never actually, he's never told his story to me before, but I asked him, do you want me to reveal who you are? And he was like, no, this is anonymous for a reason. And I'm like, cool. All right. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all of our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. All right. So we've got the Ten of Swords. Okay. So, it appears that he actually had a very controlling mother figure, and that the act of embracing his feminine side was a very rebellious act for him, and like that was his answer to the toxic feminine, was just to embrace positive feminine, healthy feminine within himself. And he because he was done, the cycle was over, he was done. I've got the Six of Pentacles. He was able to make an amends with his mother, and really, I don't want to say reestablish a a deep relationship with her, but he did make peace with the situation, and they when she left this earth, she left on good terms with him. And so he was able to really embrace who he was simultaneously as embracing who she was at her core, because he understood after working the program that he had maybe misjudged her because she was a very wounded individual and didn't know how to handle life on life's terms without projecting that pain onto other people. Okay. The wheel. Okay. All right. He's saying there was a turning point in his recovery. It was when he harnessed his own magic and started to really manifest a life of his dreams and conquer his demons. He had gotten to a point where he had been using manifestation practices to take his creativity and catapult himself into fame. And so once he had done that, he found himself surrounded by a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, a lot of sex. Okay. And explain that Wheel of Fortune and Devil, please. Clarify that Wheel of Fortune and Devil, please. Prince of Cups. He met someone who actually was in the program already and had gotten sober. And that person was like, yo, you're going to lose absolutely everything you've built if you do not stop this right now. And even worse, you may lose your life over this. And it's BS, and it's not worth it. I've got 2 more cards here for this message, and then I'm going to pop them all back in and reshuffle. So I have got the Sacred Clown. So he took a leap of faith. And he did a huge moral inventory of himself. So this is 4th step and 5th step, where he just kind of went through and admitted what he had done wrong. And he said the most important thing that he noticed was all of the ways that he was sabotaging himself, and how that act of self-sabotage was actually at its core sabotaging the important relationships in his life, because he already had a lot of material things. He already had a lot, like if you could imagine like traveling and being around fabulous people and having money and fame and everything that comes with that, but he could not connect with another human being in a meaningful way. And he was realizing that was really the whole point of life. It's not about this material stuff. It's about creating and putting out authenticity into the world, and then that helps you attract people who are equally authentic, who match your vibration, and then developing a community within that. And that was really the key component and why he was so miserable. He had pushed everyone away through his actions. Okay. Being told to put those away. All right. What energy did you embrace in recovery? The Herald, the messenger. So he became a sponsor. He made sure that everyone under him did a very thorough job, and he also worked a very thorough program himself. He was, and he cut cords. See the scissors? He cut cords to things that no longer served him, and that included some people who he had to renegotiate certain contracts that were very lucrative for him, and like cut them off and sign onto a new label, he's saying. And he became a warrior for people who were also struggling with the same thing he did. So he really worked very hard in his community to make sure that it was a safe space for all, and that everyone had a voice, because he knew that his status in society was a privilege, and he did not want to take the ability to have a platform and waste it. And so he really did for his sober life, he really worked very, very hard to make sure that everyone around him had inspiration to do things in a clean way. All right. And then we're going to get a final message. I'm going to move these up. I'm hearing weaving again. Oh, and look at the black stars. And he says that's the only hint you're going to get. I just heard a very weird sound. I hope it picked up on my audio. I'm going to have to play this back. I have no idea where that sound came from. I can't tell if it's organic or mechanical. But that was a really weird sound. So, I don't know what that means. If you heard it and you know what that was, please let me know, because that was wacky. And it's like daytime. It's not even, if I heard that at night, I'd be like, I'm going inside now. So I'm in the middle of nowhere, in a literal portal. All right. Ace of Cups. The final message. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to give yourself the gift of sobriety. It will be worth every single moment of hardship in going through that early recovery. It's so worth it. Okay. If no one's told you today, me, an anonymous ghost, love you very much. Take care.